Hi Aquarius, this is your horoscope for May 2017. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Now, from the 15th of April until the 19th of May, Mercury conjuncts Uranus. A conjunction in astrology is when two planets sit on top of each other and they blend their energies together. Now, Mercury is the communication planet. It's in Aries and it's also in retrograde, so it seems to be going backwards, and it's in your third house of communication. So you're going to have a very strong desire to communicate. It's going to be much more blunt than it usually would be and much more direct. Because it's retrograde, there's also room for errors to creep in and for you to communicate things that aren't factually accurate. Alternative facts, so to speak. Uranus is about rebellion and doing things in its own way. That is in Aries as well, and sitting on top of that Mercury, it's going to make you absolutely blink it in terms of, this is what I think, this is what's right, this is what I'm going to communicate. Woe unto anyone who tries to change your mind, especially for the first 3 days of May here, because you're going to be very certain of what you're talking about, what you are thinking about, but it may not be right. So just be aware of that, especially in the first 3 days of May, and just double check things. Say, okay, I really care about this. Am I correct? Test it. For the whole month of May, you're going to have a lot of kind of communicative energy here. You've got Venus and Aries in your third house, the Mercury and Uranus I've already mentioned, and you have the midheaven in Aries in that third house. So communication is going to be a huge desire all month. But really make the bulk of your communication from the 4th of May onwards. That's when it's not going to be as problematic as it is in the first 3 days. On the 2nd of May, going through until the 21st of May, Mars begins to trine Jupiter. Mars is the archetypal male principle. It's what you desire, it's what you want. And in Gemini, it wants variety. It wants to walk through different doorways. It's in your 5th house of romance and relationship, romantic relationships, intimate relationships, and that trine, it's 120 degrees away from Jupiter, the lucky planet, which is in the very personable sign of Libra, and that supports and blesses your social interactions so that love can become real and be, the spark of love can be created and come to life and be there. Okay, so you have kind of Cupid with his bow and arrow with you this month, and as long as you put yourself out there and you engage with other people and you put yourself in social situations, the way you communicate, and you are going to be communicating all month, means that more people are aware of you. More people look at you than they usually would, so more people recognize that you exist. And because of that, and the good luck of Jupiter, it's very likely that love is going to happen for you this month if you're single. If you're in a relationship already, then communication between the two of you is going to improve and is going to get better. On the 3rd of May, Mercury goes direct. This is important to note, that the first 3 days when Mercury is retrograde, just to be very careful. Really, really good that it goes direct on the 3rd, and no other personal planets are in retrograde during the month of May, so things become much more simple now. On the 3rd of May as well, going through all the way until the 18th of May, we have Mars squaring Neptune. I've already talked about Mars being in Gemini in your 5th house. Neptune is in Pisces in your 2nd, and Neptune is the dream planet of aspirations and dreams. It's happily placed in Pisces because it rules that sign, and it's very selfless, it's self-sacrificing, and it's about giving things away. So that in your 2nd house of belongings really makes you very disinterested in money and career and belongings, I feel. And I think you're going to be far more interested in relationships and experiencing other people and communicating and exchanging ideas. So you're not particularly bothered by money. And reading between the lines, what that means to me is that money isn't going to be a huge issue for you this month. Otherwise, you'd have to put more of a focus on it. And the focus is on relationship and communication. So it means that the financial things kind of take care of themselves. And it's not that you're constantly firefighting when it comes to your career. So the biggest blessing, I would say, is communication and relationship for you here in May. On the 10th of May, the full moon occurs in Scorpio, and I will make a separate video on the full moon because there can be quite complicated energies involved. But for you specifically, Aquarius, it happens in your 10th house. So when it comes to your working life and your career, some positive event will occur around the 9th, 10th or 11th of May in your working life that you're going to feel very good about. Okay, so you'll continue to work with all of these energies that are going on during the month until the 25th of May, when the new moon in Gemini occurs, and that happens in your 5th house of romantic relationships. Okay, so you've already spent a big chunk of the month focusing on romantic relationships. That gets even stronger now here at the end of May and extends into June, and you go into June communicating in a romantic sense, really being focused on love and romance and communicating with someone in an intimate, personal way. That's really important to you at the moment, and I really think that you're going to have a lot of luck with that because Jupiter supports all of it. So that's what I get for you here in May. I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. If you would like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the Readings tab to audio reading with me, and what I do is I draw up your natal chart using your place of birth, date of birth and time of birth. I then put these transits around the birth chart and see how these things affect you specifically, and I also sometimes use the tarot in my readings. So if you like that, go to the website gregoryscott.com and order the reading there. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you next month.